This evening, you are in for a real treat. Tammy McCann, we will find out more about her history later, but she's really a fixture here in the Chicago jazz scene. Just a lovely, lovely voice. I've been a fan of hers from a distance for a long, long time, and I'm thrilled to have her here to be performing with for us this evening. And Mike Allemana is an extraordinary guitarist, and I've known Mike for many years, and he's been here, actually has been to Studio5 before, one of the few musicians who is back for a return engagement. But Mike plays with a lot of folks, and I know that he and Tammy have a fairly regular duo engagement, or have had, so we'll find out more about that too. I won't go into that. We're just going to let the music speak for itself for a little bit, and then I'll come back and talk to them later. But thank you so much. Tammy's going to join Mike in a second, but first we're going to be treated to a solo by Mike Allemana. So please give it up for Mike Allemana, and I'll be back in a little bit to speak with y'all.
Thanks everyone for coming out. There's a lot going on tonight. Those of you who don't know me, I played with Von Freeman for about 15 years at his apartment lounge gig. One of the things Von taught me was to know a lot of tunes. So I may pull out some tunes you'll know or don't know, or be like, I can't believe he knows that. That's why. So I'm going to start off the set this evening with a really fun little tune called Young at Heart. Thank you. The one other thing I learned from Vaughn is to play the tune your way. So that's, I try to do. Anyway, thank you very much for coming out. Now I'd like to introduce to you one of Chicago's great talents, singers, who's made a big impression. Recently she's been doing some touring with John Faddis and making a big splash in the world outside of Chicago. So it's great to play with her. We've known each other for many, many years, and we both have a great connection because we both worked with Von Freeman. So how about a big hand for Chicago Tammy McCann? Woo. She's coming.
Good evening. So we're here tonight to celebrate love. What a many splendid thing. And one of the things that I always try to remember whenever my husband gets me really, really angry is that first time. And where we were, the first time he held my hand, the first time he kissed me. Lover, one lovely day, love came planning to stay. Green Dolphin Street provides a setting not too oft forgetting. And oh, these moments apart, memories stay in my heart. When I recall the love I found I kissed the ground on Green Dolphin Street. Lay up, let little day, la di do do, ba ba do de do do, ba di do de, ba ba de ba ba ba, ba ba la 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 la, ba da ba da ba 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 do, ba di da ba da ba ba. Make him feel good, y'all. Lover, one lovely day, love came planning to stay right here with me. Green Dolphin Street provides a setting not too forgetting. And lo, these moments apart, memories stay in my heart. When I recall the love I found on, I kiss the ground on, I kiss the ground on, I kiss the ground on Green Dolphin Street, Dolphin Street. Ba-dum-day, ba-dum-day. Do you remember where you were the first time he kissed you? Do you remember where you were when he held your hand? I do. And I said, ooh-wee, ooh-wee, baby, I do remember Green Dolphin Street, Green Dolphin Street.
Yeah, Tammy.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You know, you guys have so many choices. I want to thank you for deciding to spend your evening with us while we talk about love, 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 marvelous love. Well, you know, one of the first things, you know, they just did this study. They did this study, and they say that millennials just think that all of this courting is just a waste of time for some reason. They want to just get right to the business. I was like, really? I mean, they don't know what they're missing, do they? They don't know what they're missing. You know, you got to get to know each other, you know? At least that's what I was told. Getting to know you, getting to know all about you, getting to like you, getting to hope you like me, getting to know you, doing it my way, but nicely. You are precisely my cup of tea. Getting to know you, getting to feel free and easy. When I am with you, getting to know what to say. Haven't you noticed? Suddenly I'm bright and breezy because of all the wonderful and new things I'm learning about you day by day. Come on, getting to know you, getting to know all about you, getting to like you, getting to hope you like me, getting to know you, doing it my way, always. My cup of tea. Getting to know you, getting to feel free and easy. When I am with you, getting to know what to say. Haven't you noticed? Suddenly I'm bright and breezy because of all the wonderful and new things 'cause I'm learning about you day by day, day by day, 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 day by day. Thank you. Thank you so much. But you know, there are many love stories, and all these love stories don't necessarily end well. You know, there's a saying that Apple has, you know, whatever you need, there's an app for that. Well, that's how it is in jazz. Whatever you're feeling, there's a song for that. Running late for a train, there's a song for that. I lost my shoe, I'm certain there's a song for that. But when it comes to lost love, believe me, we've got plenty of songs for that. They're writing songs of love, but not for me. A lucky stars above, but not for me. Will love to lead the way? I've seen more clouds of gray than any Russian play could guarantee. I was a fool to fall and get that way. I hold a lies and also like a day. Although I can't dismiss the memory of his kiss, I guess he's not for me. Stars above, never for me. With love to lead the way, I've seen more clouds of gray than any Russian play could guarantee. I was a fool to fall and get that way. Although I can't dismiss the memory of his kiss, I guess he's not, probably not. I guess he's not for me. Well, he did hit on my sister that one time. It was just once. I guess it's not for me. La la la. Thank you so much. We now come to one of my favorite parts of the evening, which is where I showcase this amazing man right here next to me, my partner, Mr. Mike Allemana.
Thank you. That was a song from Brazil. I'm sure many of you remember Paulinho Garcia, who used to live here, Brazilian guitarist. He and I played together for about 12 years. He would hire me a lot, and he taught me all these grooves. And so that was called a baião. That was his favorite, and it's become my favorite. Obviously, we all know bossa nova and sambas, but that's from the Northeast. And a famous composer from the Northeast is named Hermeto Pascoal, who's made some big waves in Brazilian jazz history and composition. And he wrote that. It's called O Gallo da Roseira, which means the bird of the rose garden. So it's just about a bird in a rose garden. That's all it's about. So anyway, so I adapted that to solo guitar to try and keep the groove and keep playing. So it's hard. It's like an organist, you know. I don't know how organists like play bass and solo at the same time. So anyway, so thank you very much. We'd like to bring back to the stage Tammy McCann. How about a hand for Tammy? All right, Tammy.
Isn't he wonderful? He makes it look so easy. But if he handed that thing to me, we'd be in trouble.
Hey, if you gave me that microphone, we'd be in more trouble.
Let's fall in love. Why shouldn't we fall in love? Our hearts are made of it. Let's take a chance. Why be afraid of it? Let's close our eyes. We'll build our own paradise. Little we know of it, still we can try to make a go of it. We might have been meant for each other to be or not to be. Let our hearts discover. Let's fall in love. Why shouldn't we fall in love? Now is the time for it. When we are young, let's fall in love. Let's fall in love. Why shouldn't we fall in love? Let's close our eyes. We'll build our own paradise. We might have been meant for let's fall in love, let's fall in love. Oh, Daddy, let's fall in love. All right now. Let's fall in love. Why shouldn't we fall in love? Now is the time for it. When we are young, why be afraid of it? Let's close our eyes. We'll build our own paradise. Little we know of it, still we can try to make a go of it. We might have been meant for each other to be or not to be. Let our hearts discover. Let's fall in love. Why shouldn't we fall in love? Now is the time for it. When we're young, let's fall in love. Let's fall in love. Let's fall in love. Let's fall in love. Let's close close our eyes, we'll build our own paradise. Now this isn't no any kind of love. This ain't no love for sale. This is sweet, quiet, holding hands, walking down the street kind of love. This is sweet, quiet, courting, walking down the street kind of love. He holds my hand, he takes me for a walk, brings me a flower. I had never seen anything like that before, He made me feel so special, and it wasn't even Valentine's Day. And we fell in love. We fell in love. Let's fall in love. This is my brother right here. You have to understand that we come from the same place, and that place is the apartment lounge on 75th Street, and we graduated from the University of Von Freeman. Yes. And one of the things that Mr. Freeman was very clear with me about is that I'm to bring myself and my experiences to every song that I sing. So when I did a tribute to Frank Sinatra, I really took to one of these songs in particular. But the way that I want to present it, I want you to envision that Frank grew up on the south side of Chicago. So this is I Got the World on a String, okay?
Half right.
Yeah. I've got the world on a string, sitting on a rainbow. Got that string around my finger. What a world, what a life. I'm in love. I got a song I sing. I can make that rain go anytime I move my finger. Look at me, can't you see? I'm in love. Life's a beautiful thing, long as you hold that string. I'd be a silly so and so if I should ever let it go. I've got the world on a string, sitting on a rainbow. Got that string around my finger. What a world, what a life. I'm in love, 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 Come on, Mike. I've got the world on a string, sitting on a rainbow. Got the string around my finger. What a world, what a life. I'm in love, y'all. I've got a song I sing. I can make that rain go be a silly so and so if I should ever let it go. And I'm not gonna do that, y'all. I've got the world on a string, sitting on a rainbow, got that string around my finger. What a world, what a life. I'm in love, y'all. What a world, what a life. I'm in love. Thank you so much.
That is Tammy McCann. This is Tammy McCann, Mike Allemana. How about it?
Yeah, Tammy.
Boy, aren't you glad you're here tonight? Holy cow. I hope you're glad you're here.
I'm very glad. I'm sorry, I'm very sick.
She's fighting something, and we are thrilled that you're muscling through it. But oh my gosh, you know, one of the usually I come up and I do a little bit of an interview and talk to the artists, and there are two general topics. And my mind is filled with questions, but there are two general topics, and so I'm going to tell you the general topics. Then I would like to drill down a little bit. One, I want to know something about your personal history and how you came up. And one of the things that's so impressive is that it's so pure, so right on, and it sounds, although I know it's not, effortless, doesn't it? I mean, it sounds so easy, and therein is the artistry, is that it comes through so effortlessly, and yet I know there's so much history and work that went into that. And then the second thing I'd like to know about is your two history, the history of the two of you. But can I ask you a few questions about how you began? Because I know only a little bit about your past, and I didn't want to ask too much before we got started because I wanted to ask it out here. Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about how you even began? You have a really varied history with music, right?
Yes.
Can you explain a little bit?
Well, my beginnings, of course, were in church. Like most of us, I sang in church as a child, but I never really thought about singing until I got to high school. And my teacher, Dr. Lena McLean, is a instructor extraordinaire. She has taught Mark Rucker, Mandy Patinkin,
wow.
Just all these varied musicians and vocalists. And Ms. McLean said, "You're going to sing classical music." And I said, "Yes, ma'am." And because we did what we were told back then, didn't we? Do what we were told?
Sure. Yes.
Back then we just
Sometimes
did
I
what we
did.
were told. And so I sang classical music. I got a scholarship to college for classical.
Oh, wow.
voice. And
Where'd you go?
I went to Virginia Union in Richmond, Virginia.
Oh, okay.
And that was my everything. And one day I was walking down a practice room hallway, and I heard this amazing music, and I peeked in and I saw this young man playing, and I thought it was some, really interesting classical work, and I said, "Wow, who is that?" And he said, "That's Thelonious Monk."
Oh, wow.
I said, "Who's Thelonious Monk?" And he looked at me like I was crazy, but it was around midnight.
Wow.
And I just became fascinated with this music, and I came home that summer, and I just kept looking around for what I had heard. And I went to all these different spots, and then a friend of mine told me about Beijing Man's, which was on 71st and Rhodes at the time.
Wow.
And there was
Wow.
Vaughn and George Freeman holding court, and I said, "That's the music." And I was so
Wow.
completely a classical singer, and so Mr. Freeman really took me by the hand and really helped me shape what you hear now. I never thought I'd be standing here with you guys.
Wow.
Never.
So you came up through classical training,
Yes.
and had you not really been exposed to much jazz as a youngster?
None.
Wow.
I like to say I was born in jazz in like 1992. Is the first time I ever heard Sarah Elladina. My parents were
Wow.
like doo-wop people,
I see.
stylistics
Got
and,
it. Sure.
That type of stuff. And so I had never heard it before. So it was like I'm still learning. I'm still hearing songs that I never heard before, because there's so many people that has like been doing this forever. And I'm just still, it's like Christmas morning every day when I get a song.
Wow. And I now this may be fast forwarding some, but I know from what Mike told me that you sang with Ray Charles for a while.
Yes, I was a Raylette for a couple of years.
Wow. So is that something you can tell us about, or can you tell us some?
Absolutely. it's really a funny story because I was on tour. I got the opportunity to travel to Europe as a backup singer, and the booking agency ended up giving me my own tours. So for several years, I did a jazz tribute to Django Reinhardt.
Wow.
In Italy and Switzerland and all over, and I also did a tribute to Mahalia Jackson, a gospel group.
So may I interrupt you for a second? So tribute to Django Reinhardt, how did that work vocally?
I love him. It worked very fast. Very fast.
So
He
what
sang
was-
everything very fast?
What was the ensemble?
And you hear some of that.
Oh, great.
It
But what?
was a Dixieland jazz band, all acoustic. It was a tuba.
Wow.
A banjo, tuba. Sometimes he played guitar, trombone, trumpet, saxophone, and a snare drum because he carried the drum.
Right.
So
Right.
He could just play anywhere, you know.
Oh, that's
We did-
wild.
It was great. It was great.
How
Those
cool
guys
is
were
that?
fantastic.
All right, back to your story. Sorry.
Okay, what was I saying?
Yeah, about how you were doing you were
Ray
touring and then
Charles,
yeah.
right. So I was touring on the road, and my sister heard on the radio that they were doing a nationwide search for Ray Letts. And so my sister called for me. I was out of the country, and she said, "Hey, I want to make an appointment to come and audition." And he's like, "What's your name?" Her name is Tammy, and she's like, "Well, what's your name?" "Oh, I'm her sister, Allison." And so he finally let her book it. And
Really?
She was like, "You're gonna hire my sister." And he was like, "Really? That's nice, little lady. Okay, goodbye." And so 2 weeks later, I went and I auditioned. And initially, they had said, "Don't bring any music, just sing a cappella." Okay, I'm gonna sing a cappella. When I get there, they ask me for my music.
Oh
And I'm like,
no.
Well, let's just talk about some tunes. Well, the gentleman who was playing for me was many years my senior. So he said, "Well, do you know any Aretha Franklin?" And I was like, "No, sir." And he was like, and I said, "Well, do you know any Anita Baker?" And he was like, "No." And so we just went back and forth like this. And so finally, the lady who was auditioning us, "Well, do you know any gospel?" Very upset. And I was like, ding. Yes, I just came off the road doing that. What would you like? And so I sang Precious Lord, and I was on the road with Ray Charles a week later.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. And so where did you travel with him?
All over Tokyo, Switzerland, Germany, France. The experience was really something I will never forget. One of the things that was most startling is, we go on my first gig with them, they hand you a stack of music. And so it was 26 songs. And they said they wanted a second soprano. So, okay, so I learned all it's Ray Charles. So a third another third you're familiar with. So you're really only learning a third music. So you learn all the music. And they wanted a second soprano. So it's, "I can't stop loving you." That's my part. And so then when he meets me, I'm like, "Hello, Mr. Charles." And so he heard me talking to the girls. He's like, "Number 5. So I was number 5. He said, because it was 6-part harmony, the tightest harmony. Oh my gosh, it was
There were six Raylettes?
Yes.
Wow.
And he stacked us all very close, tightly up on each other.
Who did the arrangements?
He did.
He did.
Yes,
Really?
sir.
Wow.
And so he said, "You sound like you have a little bottom in your voice. Why don't you play this? Sing this. I can't stop loving you." And he was like, "Yeah, sing that." So this is Friday. This is Thursday. The gig is Saturday. So I had to go back and learn all the 26 songs in a different part in 2 days. And so that's where I was for the rest of the time. But it was really a magical time. And I'm so blessed that I had a chance to experience his
Yeah.
I
There was
learned so
never a
many
voice
things.
like that.
I
Never,
learned
ever.
so many things from him. The biggest thing that I learned from him is that the night before every show, we never knew what we were going to sing. I mean, it's Ray Charles, so you would think, we're going to sing list number 8, list number 27. Every night we received the list in his hand, so he was very organically connected to every show that he did.
Wow.
And so 20 minutes before the show, that's when we learned what we were going to sing. And he would do encores until they stopped yelling. I mean, he really left everything on stage for his audience. And that's one of the biggest lessons that I learned from being with him.
Wow. And now you are. I'm going to let you stop talking in a minute. I'm so sorry. Well, let me talk to Mike for a second. So the two of you, did you meet? Related to Von Freeman?
Well, Tammy and I met at Beige Man's, which was a place, and I don't think we realized we met each other until like 10 years later, but we had definitely met each other because I was down there playing all the time, and I remember at least backing you up or hearing you. Tom Vaitzis, who's a great pianist in Chicago, he and I were going down together, and he was working with you shortly thereafter. So, so Tammy, well, Vaughn had a gig on Thursdays where he and George would alternate every week. And then they had the same band. And so really what had happened is Vaughn had a pianist named John Logan. And John actually liked me and Tom together. We were at school together a lot. And so we were sitting in that way, and that's how I met Vaughn. And then a few years later, like Tammy was saying, she was off on the road doing all that stuff, and Vaughn hired me. So as his pianist, John Logan, passed away, and then he had another pianist who passed away shortly after that, and then he hired me, and then I had the gig until he died 15 years later.
Wow.
And we toured the world and the States and did 2 CDs together. And then Tammy and I started working together with a drummer named Perry Wilson. And Perry was Sonny Rollins' drummer for years.
Wow.
He was from here. And Tammy were like, I was like, you sound great. She's like, you sound great too, you know. And then we got the opportunity to work together for about a year or so as a duo, and at this one steady gig, and we've been, we play really naturally together because we came up basically in the same kind of mindset, Vaughn. Well, it was actually John Logan was like, I remember. So I was 22. You can imagine a 22-year-old. I mean, I don't know any tunes, right? And Vaughn said, "You're going to play with the singers." I was like, "What?" And John Logan was there, and John would feed me the chords. And so what happened is, and this is like the real old school way of learning. You don't learn with music. I mean, you obviously can read music and you can do all that, but it was all by ear. So I learned how to hear a song in a second. And so that's how I was able to like learn so many tunes, is because it was like, first of all, when I was performing with Vaughn, every week he invited at least 2 to 3 singers to sing with us in the jam session, right? And so you had to know the tunes, and you had to be able to play them in any key. I remember when one singer came down and asked for Round Midnight in A minor. I was like, okay, I can do it. I was like, all right, I've passed a particular stage. I can do that. Transpose that a tritone. Okay, I can do it.
Wow.
But Vaughn would never tell us what tune he was playing, so you get this like flow.
Yeah.
So then it's like when you're performing, Tammy just tells me, okay, let's do this tune, and we just go where we go. There's nothing's worked out. It's just, I mean, it's become a thing over time.
Sure.
But it's not like an arrangement that you got to do this and you do this and you do this, which is really, I think, what Vaughn in his generation, and Jody Christian. I mean, I'm thinking of the musicians of that era, that John Young, Wilbur Campbell, Eddie DeHaas, they were all like, oh, what you got next? And just go, you know?
And just to add about Mr. soon-to-be Dr. Allemana.
Oh.
This gentleman, his mind is so fluid. I mean, he finishes my musical sentences, you know? And I mean, like, we were just playing, I can't remember the song that we were just playing, and I went, and when I went, he was right there with me, like he read my mind where I was going, and it wasn't even a certain, it wasn't a major, it was like, it was off somewhere, and he was like right there with me, and that's what he has the ability to do. He has the ability to be right there. It's like a dance partner.
Yeah. Well, and you know, that's one of the things that I absolutely love about jazz at a high level, is that it really is, even as an audience member, you sort of understand that it is a language, and that it doesn't need words, it doesn't need to be written, it doesn't need to be something, it's just completely understood the way we're understanding each other now through words. Their sounds just evoke sounds, and there is that
I remember
interchange.
Playing with Vaughn, we had when we did, the last CD that Vaughn did was a live recording of us in Berlin at a festival there, and it was interesting listening to it because we did Summertime, and Vaughn never said a word to us, but somehow over a period of about 6 years we developed this arrangement where he would kind of play free. he'd play the melody, we'd go into time, we'd play, and somehow it would break down. Never a word was ever spoken about that arrangement. It's just the weekly playing and constantly trying things. And so there are things that Tammy and I do I don't even think we think about, but it's part of our own language of having played so much together.
Yeah, yeah. And that's also very exciting when you hear people who have never played together who sort of, you can hear them developing a language as they're working. And then there are those people that have a deep history together like these two, where you really can feel that language that's being spoken, and it's intimate. It's intimate, and how appropriate for Valentine's Day, huh? I told you you'd be coming here and pre-gaming for Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
that was
right,
what I said. Well, I know these folks could use a break. We're going to take a brief break, let you guys refresh your beverages if you like. They'll come back and play another set of music, and thank you so much. I am so delighted that you're both here.
All right,
and thank you for bringing your orchestra.
Stick around. We'll have some more fun.
Please stick around. Thank you. By the way, for those of you who are not on the mailing list, if you'd like to get on a mailing list, our website is very simple. It's studio5.dance. It's the word studio, the number 5.dance. And there's a sign up there. You can get our newsletter, which comes out as we have more programs coming up. The next program that we will have coming up is on February 25th, which is the Elements Contemporary Ballet. It won't be a jazz performance; it'll be modern or a contemporary ballet performance, and they're phenomenal. And so I invite you to check out the website. At the very least, there's a little video you can clip on and see. But please stick around. There's another full set of music, and thanks so much for coming out and supporting live music here at Studio 5. Folks, thanks much for sticking around. We're thrilled to have Tammy and Mike here, and again, our next event here will be on February 25th, which will be the Elements Contemporary Ballet. But we will be ramping up our jazz programming into the spring and summer. So please, at the very least, if you're interested, check back on our website, and if you're interested in getting a periodic newsletter to find out more about what we have coming up and when. You can sign up on our newsletter, and I promise you I won't spam you and I won't share your information. But this evening, once again, let's give a warm welcome back to Tammy McCann and Mike Allemana, wherever they are. And for my next number... Oh, Mike. Oh, Tammy. I think that's your part, dear. Excuse me for a moment, will you? Please do. See what you caused? Now we have dance improvisation happening.
Oh, you're entertaining.
It's all his fault. Thank you.
I have completely lost control.
Well, hello again, ladies and gentlemen. See, everybody's gotten themselves some libation. Can we turn the reverb down just a little bit on the monitor? Just a smidge. So what do you want to do, sir? Since we were talking about all this, how, we kind of just feel each other. Okay, let's do that. Night and all the stars that shine so bright, the mystery of a fading light that shines upon a caravan. Sleep upon my shoulder as we may keep the memory of a caravan. This is so exciting. You are so inviting, resting in my arms as we thrill through the magic charms of you. Beside me here beneath the blue, this flame of love is coming through upon this desert caravan. And all the stars that shine so bright, the mystery of our fading light that shines upon a caravan. Sleep upon my shoulder as we creep across the sand so we may keep the memory of a caravan. This is so exciting. You are so inviting, resting in my arms as we thrill through the magic charms of you. Beside me here beneath the blue, this flame of love is shining through upon this desert caravan. 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 Thank you. Thank you so much. You know, when things are going right. I did a CD with a marvelous gentleman by the name of Lawrence Hopgood. And the CD is Love Stories. And I titled it Love Stories, ... And everybody kept saying, what are the dots for, you know? I said, that's for everything in between, right? That's for the misunderstandings. That's for the, why don't you pick your socks up off the floor? Can't you just pick your socks up off the floor? The ... is everything in between. And how you get there, how you get into it, how you get out of it. There's a gentleman that writes such beautiful stories. His name is Billy Strayhorn. And this one particular story is just about how no matter what you do, you just can't shake her out of your head. You try to concentrate at the office, but you just want to stop and pick up the phone and just see how she's doing. Or just get a thought of him standing there with that dumb smile and a bunch of roses. Funny the way that I feel now. Can't keep my feet on the ground. Everything seems so unreal now when you're not daydream. Why do your heart beat so deep in a rosy glow? The face of my love you'll show. Daydream. I walk along building a castle there for me and my love to share. I don't know the time, Lordy, I'm in the days, sun in the sky, while I move around feeling hazy. Daydream, don't stop my revelry until I find that he is daydreaming just like me. Is daydreaming like me. Don't know the time, Lordy, I'm in the days, sun in the sky, while I'm on around feeling hazy. Daydream, don't stop my revelry until I find that he is daydreaming just like me. Is daydreaming like me. Daydreaming. Daydream. Thank you so much. This will now be one of your favorite parts of the show where we get to hear again Mr. Mike Allemana.
Thank you. I'm going to play some Thelonious Monk. This is around midnight. Yeah. Tammy. How about a hand for Tammy McCann? Yeah, Tammy. Thank you.
Like was saying, we really, really have a lot of history together. Know so many stories, and from I guess so many clubs. I think that's what Dinah was talking about when she sang this song. If you ask me, I could write a book about the way you walk, you whisper, you look. I could write a preface on when we met, so the world could never forget. And the simple secret of the plot is just to tell them that I love you a lot. So the world discovers as my book ends how to make true lovers afraid. If you ask me, I could write a book about the way you walk, you whisper and love. I could write a preface on when we met, so the world could never forget. And the simple secret of the plot, let's take that one, is just the way you look. I love you a lot. So the world discovers as my book ends how to make true lovers, make true lovers, how to make true lovers afraid. Thank you. Thank you so much. One of the people, well, when I get a chance to travel, I get a chance to travel a lot in my business, and one of the things I love is to hear people's stories, what brought them to jazz, you know? And so often they tell me that it was one particular voice and one particular song that she sang that opened that door And that person is Miss Ella Fitzgerald. She has a way of writing, just writing on your heart with the songs that she chooses, the stories that she chooses. Embrace me, my sweet embraceable you. Embrace me, you irreplaceable you. Just one look at you, my heart grows tipsy in me. You and you alone bring out the gypsy in me. I love all the many charms about you. Above all, I want my arms about you. Don't be a naughty baby. Come to mama do. My sweet embraceable many charms about you. Above all, I want my arms about you. Don't be a naughty baby. Come to mama do. My sweet Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We want to thank you so much for joining us here this evening. We've had such a wonderful time. And I want to leave you with one of my favorite tunes. You know, I did a tribute to the World War II generation, and it's called "I'll Be Seeing You." And one of the things that happened was, you know, as a musician, like I told you, it's always Christmas for me because I'm always discovering new songs. And so I was learning this song for a CD that I was doing, and I was like, wow, this song is so marvelous, but it's not just a love song. It's interesting because it has an ache to it, you know? And so I did some research, and I realized that it was written in 1939, right, during World War II, and I said, now I see, you know? There was a longing. There was an ache. All of these boys, some of them had never even been out of their town, and here they were, thousands of miles away from their loved ones and their sweethearts. And it was this music that kept families connected, that kept sweethearts connected. You know, he could look up in the sky and wonder, is she looking at the same moon that I'm looking at? This is one of my favorites. It's called I Thought About You. And I hope that you guys have a lovely evening and continue to constantly think about each other every single day and fill each other's lives with love. Thank you so much. I took a trip on a train and I thought about you. I passed a shadowy lane, I thought about you. 2 or 3 cars parked under the stars, a winding stream, moon shining down on some little town, and with each beam, same old dream. With every stop that we made, I thought about you. And when we pulled down the shade, I really felt blue. I peeked through the crack and looked down the track, the one going back to you. And what did I do? I thought about you. I took a trip on a train, I thought about you. I passed a shadowy lane, I thought about you. 2 or 3 cars parked under the stars, a winding street, moon shining down on some little town, and with each beam, same old dream. With every stop that we made, I thought about you. And when we pulled down the shade, I really felt blue. I peeked through the crack and looked down the track, the one going back to you. And what did I do? What did I do? Oh, what did I do? I thought Mr. Mike Allemana. Make him feel good. I thought about you. I thought. Every day I thought about you. Thank you so much. My name is Tammy McCann. Thank you.
Tammy McCann, ladies and gentlemen. Tammy McCann, Mike Allemana. And thank you so much for sticking around. Thanks for supporting the live performing arts here. And thanks to these wonderful, beautiful, beautiful artists for gracing us with their artistry this evening.